Well, here it is, guys. Our first taste of the new season. The fixture lists have been released. It's an interesting one. I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. Of course, it's randomly generated, but there are some little stipulations here and there. Apparently, they've made it so the top 6 clubs rarely face off against each other right at the start and right at the end of the season. And of course, they might take into consideration travelling for fans. You don't want multiple derbies on one day. And there's lots of just little things that I think they throw into the computer when they generate the fixture list. But of course, it is a lot of luck. And once again, I want to say, I think if you go back to last year's, the year before that, and maybe the year before that as well, I think I've been doing this kind of video for a while now, it does feel like Arsenal always get a really tough start. But do you know what? I'm not complaining. I am not complaining about it. I think when it comes to the fixture list, you've got to look at it as it is simply playing all the teams twice. It is literally all it is. The only thing that comes into play for me is a chance to be consistent. When you come into the months of November, December, January, are those fixtures nicely evened out? Do you have a lot of congestion, but with big teams? You don't want a run of 3 games against the top 6. Things like that. That's what I look out for. And of course, the derbies and things like that. But let's get into August to see our first few fixtures. We are kicking off the season with a trip to Old Trafford, and I cannot wait. A friend of mine asked me yesterday, funnily enough, because we've been waiting for the fixture list. He's a Sunderland fan, and obviously he doesn't really mind who they get, but he wanted to avoid Newcastle. For me, I was straight in there saying, I want Tottenham. Give me Tottenham. Next pick would have been Manchester United for me, so I'm actually super happy with that one. Followed by Leeds at home, and then a trip to Anfield. Really, really difficult opening 3 fixtures, but as I said a moment ago, you've got to play all the teams twice, and in a way, I'm kind of happy to get 2 grounds out of the way that we really struggle at. Manchester United away, it's not an easy game for Arsenal for some reason. I think it's a mental thing because realistically, Manchester United aren't a great team these days. And a lot of teams do go to Old Trafford and get wins. They get points. For some reason, there seems to be a mental block there that Arsenal can't do it. The last one I remember was 1-0. Aubameyang scored a penalty, I believe. And we don't need to talk about Anfield. It's always a horrible, horrible game for pretty much any team. I'm not going to be doing predictions in this. I'm not going to say we're going to win this game, but in terms of hard starts, your first 3 games, to have Old Trafford and Anfield, that is very, very unlucky. Let's move on into September. We have Nottingham Forest at home. They finished in the top 7 last year. They had a great season. Then it's Man City at home, and then it's Newcastle away. 3 of last season's top 7. You've got Liverpool in there before as well, and Manchester United. And Leeds at home, a newly promoted side. That's going to be, I think, their first away game of the season. This is a really, really difficult first 6 games. I would like to imagine we're going to get points from all of them. But anyway, into October, just 3 fixtures in each month so far. West Ham at home, Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home. So we will not be leaving London in October, and you'll see that's a recurring theme. We'll be talking about that later on, but this is a really nice month. I like October. And then November, we're going into the winter months. Burnley away, Sunderland away. I'm hoping I'll be going to that game. Spurs at home, Chelsea away. I'm sorry, a lot of people would say, well, Burnley, Sunderland, Spurs, easy games, right? Chelsea away, they're very hit and miss, and we're quite good at Stamford Bridge these days. But I'm telling you, Burnley away, stinker. I hate that. Is there anyone else sitting there looking at a fixture like that and just going, that's just the obvious one? We're gonna balls it up, aren't we? Sunderland away. I think, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Andy, Sunderland fans. It's going to be a very tough season. I don't see them staying up. I don't even see them finishing 19th. They're going to be bottom of the league next season, in my opinion. Spurs will have a resurgence. There's no way they're going to be as bad as last season. And Chelsea, you just never know. Really difficult month. And then we go into December. And of course, this is the time of year where fixtures just come thick and fast. It's unbelievably busy. Basically 3-4 games, if you're lucky, in between each match. Brentford, Aston Villa, Wolves, Everton, Brighton, and then Villa again. It's a really, really tricky month. Brentford at home, Villa away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Brighton and Villa at home around Christmas. That's quite nice. We don't have a Boxing Day fixture, which I noticed, but of course, and I should have said this at the start, these can change. They are subject to change, of course, and things do change. So some of those games might not be on those specific days. December could have been worse, I would say. Normally, that's the month I look to and hope we just avoid really tough ones because everyone's exhausted. You're bound to have injuries there. And it's a miserable time of year. Everyone's cold and everyone's got colds and flu. And yeah, it's inevitable that December is the bit of the season where it's a bit of a stinker. And it doesn't get easier going into January normally. And Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, Nottingham Forest away, Man United at home, Leeds away. Very much away, home, away, home, away, home. But I'm going to say something that's going to blow your mind shortly, okay? Something that I've noticed. But do you know what? It's not great, but it's not bad. The thing is that there aren't any easy games, quote-unquote easy games now. Every game in the Premier League is so tough and competitive. Into the month of February, the most important month, my birthday. Unfortunately, the Sunderland game at home falls the day before my birthday. I'll be turning 33 the day after that. Yes, I'm an old fart now. And as I said earlier, I'm hoping to get to the Sunderland away game, and I want to be at the home one as well. If you didn't know, I covered the Championship playoff with Andy, my Sunderland fan friend. We're going to try and watch both the games. So we'll see what happens, but that should be a absolute bloodbath. I'll enjoy that one. Brentford away, really tough, although they're not going to have Thomas Frank anymore. Spurs away, Chelsea home. Okay. But surely we get an easy run in at the end, right? Well, I would like to say somewhat. I wouldn't use the word easy. Brighton away, Everton home, Wolves away. That should be 9 points. April, we've got Bournemouth at home, City away, Newcastle at home. And then we finish off in May with Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away. It really isn't the worst run-in, and I think we can build up some nice consistency here. Now, I noticed it straight away. So between the months of January and May, 5 months, okay, only one of those fixtures is away to a top 6 finished club from last season. Any of the clubs that finished in the top 6 last year, the only away trip in 5 months is to the Etihad. So you're looking at this fixture list, you're trying to pick out all of the big games, the tough ones, the derbies, all that stuff. And I just wanted to know the away games against top 6 teams. So I was just looking through and I noticed it. If you look at it, between January and May, there are no away games against the top 6 side from last season other than Man City. That is huge. That is absolutely massive. And also I noticed between April and May, so 7 games, again, the Etihad trip is the only game where we're leaving London. We are going to be in London between April and May, other than the City game. That is amazing. We're staying in London for Bournemouth, Newcastle, obviously we're going to Man City, and then in May, we're staying in London for Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. I think that's incredible, and I would take the tough start to get the somewhat easier finish. And Arsenal fans, we all know we seem to just get close but then fall away at the end. No excuse this season. If this is the way it stays, I cannot sit here and say that could be a problem for us, because a lot of other teams have a way worse end 6 games. The run-in, as they call it, the title run-in is in our favour this season. So let's take a look at the first 5 games. Sorry for the blurry image. It's the biggest one they provided. This is Opta, I believe. So we've gone in order here. At the top, you've got the hardest first 5 games, statistically. And then at the bottom, you've got the easiest. So Villa, Palace, West Ham, Burnley, they've got somewhat easier, but it's not a huge difference. If you look on the right side, we've got a 90.9 average rating up to a 94.6 at the top. Arsenal, again, getting shafted with really, really tough opening fixtures. We have, statistically, on paper, it doesn't really matter, I just thought it was interesting, we have statistically the second hardest first 5 games. Manchester United have the hardest. They've got us up first, Fulham, Burnley, City, Chelsea. Honestly, Man United will not get a single win in the first 5 games if they play anything like they did last season. No chance. I think Arsenal will beat them. Fulham will beat them. Burnley might even scrape a win. And then City and Chelsea will beat them as well. That's a really tough start. Looking at last season's champions, we've got Liverpool there with the 5th hardest. Okay, Man City kind of in the middle there. Spurs just behind them. Looking at Chelsea as well, they've got a relatively nice starter. But it's funny, at the bottom, you've got the Opta team rating and the colour coding, a dark red being a really tough game and like a light pink being the easy game. And then you just see Sunderland, it's just like white. They really are going to be the team that everyone will look at and just think 3 points. 3 points is a must. So there we have it, guys. That is the opening... Sorry, the whole fixture list, and that was the opening 5. I'm quite happy with it. It's just about consistency, staying fit, and seeing each game as an opportunity to get 3 points, regardless of who the team is. It really doesn't matter. Obviously, notable games, it's always Old Trafford, Anfield, the Etihad, and the Tottenham games. Those are the games I really look forward to and look out for. Spurs on November 22nd at home, and then again in February 21st away. So a little bit of a wait to get to the Spurs game, but the fact that we're getting Old Trafford and Anfield done straight away, and obviously City at home nice and early as well, I think it's a good thing. But thank you so much for watching. Those are my thoughts on the fixture list. Let me know how your team is looking going into the new season. Obviously, we have plenty of time left to make changes to the squad, and I think a lot of teams are going to look very different. It's exciting. I cannot wait for the start.